Hello?
Oh, you turned on the mic. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't have to do it there. I don't.
Yes.
Let me know if our audio is okay on Twitch. I'm about to start the actual radio broadcast. Also,
I can't see anything on that screen.
I can see it a little bit. Also, let me know if the camera's frozen at all, because when we tried it earlier, it was frozen for a bit. So.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny if it froze.
It'd be very sad.
Actually, if it freezes, don't tell us.
No, please. Please, I'm begging you.
No, don't tell us. It'll be a fun joke for later.
Oh, the funny little surprise when we go and watch the VOD back. Hang on, I'm
What are
up.
you licking?
He's very licky right now.
He's so loud.
Okay, so...
Do we have an intro? We didn't discuss this.
No, we just say, hi, welcome to radio show. You're listening to Bennington Radio, and you're listening to me and you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting in the password now.
Okay. He just keeps licking the table.
Metadata. This movie sucks.
And here's why.
And here's why. Okay.
I'm gonna sneeze. Don't go live yet. I'm gonna sneeze.
It's live already.
Fuck.
Sneeze into the mic. It'd be like ASMR.
No.
Hello, hello. Can you hear us on stream? Bless you. Bless you. Pardon you. Cucumber.
Bitch. Okay.
I don't know if they can hear us. Probably. I can see the mic thing moving, so I'm counting on it.
Mm-hmm.
We good? Probably. Anyway.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys. I'm gonna check to make sure we're actually live on the station. You can talk and whatever. Be funny.
You can't put that pressure on me.
You have to be funny right now.
Oh my god, is there like a gun to my head right now?
Stand-up comedy. Come up with a joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Yes.
No, that was a bad joke.
Fuck you.
That was actually awful.
I'm so
Get out.
sorry.
You're no longer my co-host. Leave. What does that say?
I can hear Rat Dog is here too, and
Yeah.
that looks like
Yay.
a flop to me. I think it's an emoji though, or like what are they called?
An emote?
Yes, that's what they're called on Twitch.
Is
Fuck
the video frozen or anything like that?
you. Okay.
Hang on, I'm opening up the radio
Mm-hmm.
so I can make sure it's broadcasting properly.
I feel like we're doing terrible.
No, we're doing fine. We're just starting. It's only 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take a bit to load.
We've got 59 minutes. That's of airtime.
Okay, it is broadcasting. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
We are live. Yay! It's so weird without background music. I'm gonna open up Twitch on my phone so I can read the chat. Hang on.
Oh my god.
I can't see.
Anyways,
The computer's all the way over
welcome
there.
to This Movie Sucks, and here's why.
Wait, can I do that? You're listening to Bennington Radio. Wait, hang on. You're listening to Bennington Radio.
Stop it.
Was that good ASMR? Am I good at it?
This.
I get paid for that.
Are we gonna say our names?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, I'm Jesse.
I'm Jack.
We have matching names.
We have matching names. This is very easy to remember.
And we're talking about Red Riding Hood today.
We actually brought the movie case here. We're talking about Red Riding Hood, 2011, I believe.
I don't know. It sucked.
I think open up the notes, Doc. This is the movie case. If anybody is listening,
Yeah, it was 2011.
on air, if anybody is listening currently on air, we are also streaming this on twitch.tv/crackerjacket. That is CRACKERJACCET. It's spelled with 2 C's because I'm a little quirky and also the normal one was taken. So, if you want to see our gorgeous faces and also my dog, you can go there, or you can keep listening I don't really care.
You can barely see Pluto. Hold on. Let me hold him.
Pluto, do you want to say hi? That was probably really loud. I'm so sorry.
Our guest of honor. He's not very loud.
Okay.
But he has lots of opinions.
On this show, we are going to be talking about really like shitty, crappy movies that we found, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like movies that are, they don't even have to be low budget, but a lot of them are. Movies that are low budget or badly made or poorly acted or just have really bad reviews. And we're going to talk about... Oh, is it mirrored? Wait, hang on 1 second.
Anyways, we're talking about Red Riding Hood today, which we said like 4 times. Made in 2011, directed by Catherine Hardwicke, who, fun fact, also directed the first Twilight, and this was apparently produced by Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, which I didn't actually know about until I looked it up.
Thank you for that.
Because I looked on the Wikipedia and it said that.
Can I just say, boy, can you tell this was directed by the director of
Boy,
the first
can
Twilight.
you tell. And
boy, can you tell.
It's really funny, too, because they got rid of the director that directed the first Twilight and hired a new one for the next movies. And I wonder why. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it speaks for itself. Here's the case again without it being
inverted.
Yeah, you can hold it closer. Pluto has too many controversial opinions, SMH, says Emily. She also said, my ears, and I'm sorry for screaming.
I'm not.
I'm gonna read the synopsis on the back. Catherine Hardwicke, in parentheses, Twilight, directs a fantasy thriller that puts a haunting twist on the classic fairy tale. For years, the villagers of Daggerthorn have maintained an uneasy truce with a werewolf, but the beast changes the stakes by killing the older sister of brave young Valerie, who, by the way, is played by Amanda Seyfried. How do you say her last name? Seyfried, which is insane to me. Promised in marriage to one man, but in love with another, Valerie is affected yet again by the creature's bloody actions. When a werewolf hunter warns that the beast takes human form by day and walks among them, panic sets in as the death toll rises, and Valerie learns she has a unique connection to the wolf that inexorably draws them together, making her both suspect and bait. Gary Oldman, Billy Burke, Shiloh Fernandez, Max Irons, Virginia Madsen, Lucas Haas, and Julie Christie also star.
Yes.
And that's the synopsis. And I remember seeing the trailers for this movie when I was a lot younger, and I was like, oh my god, I want to see this movie so bad.
I never saw the trailers for this. I was a very sheltered Catholic child. I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob or Phineas and Ferb.
Okay, so here's the thing about this movie. It was made... Its official genre is a horror romance.
This is riding on the coattails of Twilight. It just is.
Yeah, but there's no horror elements at all.
There tries to be some horror elements.
They try, like, too hard for it. And not good. And
They're very funny.
It's only in, like, certain areas. And also, I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was younger because it was a horror movie. Like, I remember being so upset. Yeah.
Where is it? Where is the horror?
It was so sad. Anyway. Let's continue on our little document.
Okay. The budget was $42 million. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Only a little bit more than tuition here.
Only a little bit more.
And in the box office, it made $90.2 million. I don't know how big that margin is in terms of movies. I should probably find that out, since that's like our whole thing.
Technically, it made a profit.
Yes.
It did, because it was advertised a lot.
Yes.
I remember. But looking at the reviews, I don't know if many people really enjoyed it.
Okay, so the ratings. It has a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.4 on IMDb. And here are some reviews that Jack found.
Yes, I found these. And these are real I didn't write these myself. I found these on the Rotten Tomatoes website.
Yes, you did. Go ahead.
Do you want me to read them?
Yes.
Give me your phone.
Yes, you read them. There you go.
Okay. Here we go. This is Ted W. with a 0.5 star rating out of 5 on September 3rd, 2020. What the flip did I just watch? I need to stop watching trash movies, but man, I was kind of hyped because it has Amanda Seyfried, the girl from Mamma Mia. But my goodness, this movie sucked. It took a fable and mushed it with Twilight, and you get this garbage. I already forgot about this movie. It's so bad. That was one of the reviews. You can read the next one. I think it really suits you.
Colin M. 3 stars. I really like this movie because Amanda Seyfried is hot and gorgeous and such a good actress.
Amazing. Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and this is Brad S. with a 1-star rating. May 5th, 2015. What the hell? The hell even was this? It's just, the hell even was this?
True. The hell even was this? That's what I said after we watched it.
Do you want to read the fun fact?
I'll read the fun fact.
You can read the
because
fun fact.
I'm special. Fun fact, according to tvtropes.org, a novelization of the film was released 1 to 2 months in advance. Notable for pissing a lot of people off for not including the ending of the movie in the novel. Pluto, don't eat that.
Pluto. So, yeah, this movie, before it was released, a novel that was it based off the movie was also released, like 3 months before it. And
Interesting.
I don't know much about it, right? I think it was like an advertising thing. I don't know much about it, but I do know that a lot of people didn't like it because it like didn't have an ending or something, because it didn't want to spoil the movie.
It just didn't have an ending?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Kind of fucked up. But a lot of people liked the novel, but not a lot of people liked the movie, which was weird. Because I was looking at the reviews and a lot of them were like, wow, you know what, the novel was so good, but this is shit.
Task failed successfully.
Okay, so that was part 1 of our talking about this. What's the next part? I forgot. What was the plot? We're gonna...
You forgot our own structure. Oh my god, you're a terrible radio host, and I should host this alone.
I'm gonna read... Sorry, my dashboard closed. Anyway. Because I wasn't interacting with it. So,
simply interact with it.
This is the part where we retell the movie. I'm gonna make sure I'm still alive.
Oh, there's like...
Would you like to begin retelling? Are you reading them? Can you read?
No, not really.
Would you like to begin the retelling?
Okay. I've already forgotten what this movie was about. We rewatched it today. Okay.
Yeah, we really watched it.
So the movie opens and there's a voiceover and it's very dramatic and it opens with Amanda Seyfried, but not Amanda Seyfried, but she's like a child. I kind of forgot the character name.
Okay, it's Valerie.
It's Valerie.
So Amanda Seyfried plays Valerie.
During the movie, I kept forgetting her name because they just
they don't say it. Okay, to be fair,
she doesn't have a personality. I'm just like,
she doesn't do fucking anything. So,
anyways, but it starts with like a little flashback of her as a child in the forest, and she's getting water, and her mother's like, "Don't talk to strangers.
Yeah.
Just get water and come home."
So this is important for the setup, right? She gets told by her mother, go get water and don't talk to anybody. And she's like, okay. And then she's walking through the village.
Part of the setup is that she's like a good girl.
Yeah, they literally say that though. That's not even just Jessie being weird. They literally call her that.
They do, like, so many times.
Emily just said, yeah, read the chat, nerds. Anyway.
I can't read the chat. I don't have my glasses.
I don't have my glasses.
I don't have my glasses.
So what happens is she walks through the village to go to the stream to get water. And everybody's like closing their windows and stuff. And there's this one family that's putting a pig out on this altar, like this little pig, and this little girl's crying about it.
It's a piglet though.
It's a piglet. It's a baby piglet, and the little girl's crying about it. And one of the guys says,
"Better the wolf takes the pig than you."
Yeah, he says it like that. It's so funny.
Anyway, so she goes to the forest to get water, and she's like, "I did my best to listen to my mother, but I just didn't.
But I'm so naughty. I'm not a good girl.
I'm not a good girl. I run in the forest and I talk to strangers.
Well,
anyways,
no, okay.
But it's not a stranger. It's a boy that she's in love with.
Okay.
Who looks like he's like 15 and she looks 7.
Okay, so
but
in the
fine.
flashback,
It's whatever.
In the flashback, she looks like 10, and the boy looks like 14. It's really weird.
That's very weird.
So he splashes into the river that she's getting water from, and then he's like, "Let's go," and she's like, "Okay."
And then they go and do murder, but like as a tree. And also, something weird about this movie, none of the sets look real. Like, there isn't anything visibly wrong with them, but they just look so unbelievable. And once you're watching this movie like a second time and you're looking at it, it really just feels like the entire thing was shot in a warehouse. You're just like, this is all shot in a warehouse.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I can feel the walls. I can't see them, but I can feel them in my brain.
Yeah, like, okay, so here's what they do to make it try and look real, right? They have the lighting, which does not look good. The lighting does not look good at all. They have the fake plants and everything around. Okay, all the trees in this movie have giant spikes on them for no reason.
No tree
No, like
has
really,
ever grown like that.
it's genuinely like a style choice. I think it's on the cover too.
It is. It's fully on
Here,
the cover.
show me the cover. Look at the tree spikes.
Look at the goddamn tree spikes. Oh my god, I hate having a mirrored screen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall over.
And then all the
Appreciate
trees
my
are like that,
efforts.
and they look so fake. And also, they do this thing with if they're in an open space, they'll make it feel more closed in because they have walls because they're filming like obviously in some kind of warehouse. So they'll put a bunch of plants like around the border, or they'll do fog, or buildings. I've noticed, and it makes it feel so fake and closed in, and it's just bad.
Simply film outside.
Just go outside. I don't know.
Just go outside, I guess. I mean, the problem is that they were filming the movie set like during winter, and this was, I'm assuming, filmed in Hollywood or something. But like, I don't know. You can film on location. This had a $42 million budget.
They did do a drone shot.
They did do a
They
drone
had
shot.
one drone shot that they showed like 5 times.
And it was terrible.
And it had nothing
it looked
to do.
awful.
It had nothing to do with the plot either.
It was so funny.
Misk said Mother Nature saw hostile architecture and was like, fuck it. Oh my god, Pluto.
Thank you for your opinions, Pluto. Okay.
So continuing, so they go and they trap a rabbit.
It's not explained why this is happening, and also the rabbit is very clearly one that they just found at a pet store.
Yeah, it's like
it's an all-white rabbit with like black eyes, and it's just like kind of hopping along, and it looks super unconcerned with whatever's happening. Like
yeah,
they
like
drop
it
a box
doesn't
on top of it, and it just kind of sits there.
It just kind of
like
really
eats
does
something.
just sit there,
And
also
it's not even a sturdy box; it's literally made out of twigs, and it
very
just
funny.
very gently settles down over the rabbit.
yeah.
It's just like, yeah, this is fine.
And then they go. The funniest part to me though is when they go up to the rabbit and then they lift up the box and just scoop it out.
And there's like a 5-second interval between
where the rabbit
grabbing the
really
rabbit
could have
and
ran.
moving the box. It's like you're not even
Like,
gonna pretend that it's gonna bolt.
Literally. So
And also they're holding it in the way that you're supposed to hold pet rabbits.
yeah.
Which is so strange because they're holding it like that, and then he's like holding a knife to it.
Yeah, they hold a knife to its throat.
But then they don't do it. They're just like, you do it. No, you do it.
Yeah.
No, you do it.
And then the flashback ends.
And the rabbit's just like hanging out there, like, yeah, okay.
And
this is fine.
it's implied that Valerie kills the rabbit, but we don't actually see it.
No, it's more implied that they like let the rabbit go, or like
No.
it's like mystery. Oh my god,
No,
what happened to it?
No, because later in the movie.
That's a reveal though.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It was definitely
No,
meant as a reveal.
100%
No, it
was
meant
implied. Listen.
It was meant as a reveal.
It was.
Definitely
No, it was not. It was 100% implied that Valerie killed the rabbit.
I think you're wrong, and
No,
fuck you.
you're wrong, because even when I first watched the movie, I was like, oh, okay, so she killed the rabbit. I remember.
I think that's just because the movie was written badly.
It was.
I also was just like, oh yeah, she killed the rabbit, but I do think that the writers intended that to be a spicy reveal.
I don't think so. Because it's not really spicy. It's like, wow, you killed a rabbit. Good job.
I mean, the spicy part is like, oh, you're just like me and your father, and I'm a murderer.
Don't spoil it. You just spoiled it. What the heck? Okay.
Well, now you spoiled
Erase that from your memory.
You heard nothing.
Anyway, continuing. So the flashback ends. It's present day now.
And she's in the forest again. Is like, I'm not a good girl, and I run in forests.
Yeah, and she's like, good girls shouldn't go into the.
Good girl.
Oh no. Okay.
Sorry about that.
I think it says.
Shut up.
She has this like monologue over it where it's like, good girls don't run in the forest or whatever.
Yeah.
She says some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so the boy is also grown up,
Mm-hmm.
but he looks so stupid.
He has square energy.
He looks and acts like a square, like the shape.
Shape like a square. And also his head looks like it would crinkle if I touched it, like his hair.
Emily said reenact the rabbit scene with Pluto.
It,
We totally could. Do you want us to?
his hair just looks fully solid. I feel like if I poked it, it would like. I feel like it would make like that sound.
Like a crinkly sound. I think it would like crinkle like a plastic bag.
Yes. He sounds like a bag of chips, is what I'm saying.
He sounds like a bag of chips.
I just want to like grab the top of his head and
Basically,
shake him around.
He's a square bag of chips, and he's not even hot.
He's also definitely supposed to look like Edward Cullen, and
Yeah.
he super doesn't.
And he's also not interesting as a character at all. But none of the
And I
characters.
don't like him.
None of the characters are really interesting. So
Yeah.
anyway, do you want to reenact the rabbit scene with Pluto?
Oh my god. Sure. What's the knife? Use this marker.
Use this marker.
There you go.
Okay, so my Valerie.
You're Valerie.
Okay, so basically they take the rabbit out of the box and then they hold it with the knife to its throat.
Gotta stay close to the microphone.
And then the Valerie's like, do it. And then the boy's like, no, you do it.
And also the boy's like right there.
Yeah, they're just kind of like
Over
really
the
close
shoulder.
to each other.
They're both holding this trap and going, you kill it. No, you kill it.
No, you kill it.
No, you kill it.
No, you kill it. And then they just go back and forth.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, Pluto. Anyway.
We would never do that to you, Pluto.
We would never do that to Poopy.
Oh my god.
Okay. Continuing.
Anyways, he's like a woodcutter, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's so sexy."
Yeah,
and he's also attacking a tree with an axe, and they're like, "Hey, it'll still be there after lunch. Go eat something." And he's like, "Okay," and he leaves his axe just out on a tree stump, and then she shows up, and she comes out from behind a tree, and then she steals it.
She
and
takes
like
the
runs
axe.
away with it, and then he comes back and is like, "Oh my god, where's my axe?" And then he like goes to find it, and then she shows up and is like, "Aha! I have it." She like jumps out from behind a tree
You're
with
going
his
too
axe.
fast. You're speaking too fast.
This is what I do when I get excited.
You gotta slow down. I can barely understand you.
I have ADHD and I'm unmedicated. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, she has his axe and being very flirty about it, like, "Ahaha, I have your giant metal weapon that I could kill you with."
I have your axe. And she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill you with it.
And he's like, "What'll it take for me to get that back?" She's like, what do you want for it?" And he's like, "You didn't know? We can't do that anymore." And she's like, "What?"
We can't do that anymore.
And he's like, "You've been betrothed."
yeah, he's like, you didn't hear? You've been promised to marry somebody else. And she's like, what?
What?
She had, I don't know why this random guy knew before she did.
Yeah. Did it happen like that morning and then after she
I
left
don't
the
know.
house, but
Like, it
he
must
hadn't
have.
left yet?
Anyway, so. And then she's like, oh my god, what? And then they're like, what if we ran away together where nobody could find us?
And they're like about to do it. They're
And
about to grab
they're
some horses
literally
and
about
bolt
to do
out of
it.
there.
And then I think a bell rings.
The bell rings.
It goes
And then-
boom, you know, like the
And then
church.
she goes, "The wolf."
The wolf.
And then it cuts back to the village in this like field with just a bunch of piles of hay.
Yeah, it's this weird field where there's like decorative piles of hay.
I don't know. We never really see the field again. I
Yeah,
don't know what
it's
the
just
purpose
for
of
this
it
one
is.
scene.
I think it's like, ooh, it's like creepy and
It's so
scary and
creepy.
it's hay and
It's not creepy.
I think it's really
They
shitty.
just basically they go into this field.
And then she keeps going up to people and going like, "Who'd the wolf kill? Who'd the wolf kill?" I'm assuming because the bell means that the wolf killed someone.
Yeah.
Which
even-
I don't know why she would
I
know
don't
that.
know.
I don't know why she would know that.
Me neither.
Because
Because
part of the lore is that the wolf hadn't killed anybody in 20 years.
yeah, and,
And she's like 18.
She's like 18, and the wolf hasn't killed anybody because of like this truce that they have. They leave out their best livestock every full moon for the wolf,
Mm-hmm.
which is really funny to me because they left a piglet out last time. So I don't know. Maybe that's why the wolf killed somebody. He was like, "Fuck this shit. You got better than that."
Anyways,
So, okay.
she's like going up to people and is like, "Who is it? Who'd the wolf kill?" And they just kind of stare at her like,
Yeah.
like
weird.
and the woman goes, "It's your sister."
It's your sister.
This is our first time finding out that she has a sister.
Yeah, and this happens like
They don't even tell us this.
this is like 3 minutes into the movie.
It is. It's so funny.
And they're like, "It's your sister," and it's supposed to be this really sad scene. You know, her parents are there, and then they step aside, and you see the sister's dead body, and then she's like, "No."
No, she doesn't do that. She just yells the sister's name. She goes, "Lucy!"
Oh yeah,
It's like,
that's right.
she can't hear you. She's dead.
She's dead. And then it cuts there.
Yeah. And then they're all like in a dark house with the body, and they're like preparing it for a funeral, maybe.
I think they're doing something with it.
Yeah, and they're all like crying, being like, "Oh no, she's dead." But also the vibes are so goddamn
Yeah.
weird.
Okay, so here's the thing. In this little house with the dead body, it's all women,
Mhm.
and they're all like gossiping about the dead.
Wait, no. It wasn't all women at first. There were men in there.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
one of them was her fiance Henry.
Oh yeah.
Who just
okay,
showed
this
up.
is where
She's like, "I barely even know him." And then her mom is like, "You should go down there and say hi to him."
and say hi to him. You know,
I know your sister
sister's
just
dead.
died and you're like traumatized or whatever. You should say hi to your new fiance. Yeah. And then
So Henry I like a lot better than Peter, which is
Mhm.
the other love interest. Henry has like blonde hair and stuff, and he looks like a lost little puppy.
He really does.
That's what we kept comparing him to throughout like the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. He just looks like a little wounded puppy. He looks like he's been kicked.
Yeah.
And you just
He
wanna
looks
go,
like he
oh,
was
it's gonna
just
be
so sad."
okay. It's gonna be okay, little guy.
And I really think I don't know why. Like it's pretty obvious, right, that she's gonna pick Peter
Yeah.
from the beginning.
I mean, yeah, no contest. This is just for drama.
So the thing is, she was betrothed to Henry because Henry has money. He's like rich or something. He's like a blacksmith's son.
Yeah.
And
It's like, why would they have money?
and this scene happens around here where the mom, Valerie's mom, goes up to Peter and she's like, "Don't don't try to."
No, that's
take
later.
her-"
That's later. That's later.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's a little bit later.
Okay.
But the men like go like, let the women grieve in their own way, and they all leave to go drinking.
And then they all go to the bar. Yeah.
And
The
Césaire, her dad, also leaves to go drinking with them.
It's implied that he's
Yeah.
an alcoholic.
Yeah, it really,
Like, really
is.
is.
He gets drunk a lot
Yeah,
in
he
this
does.
movie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he does.
But
Okay, so they go. So the men go to the tavern, and then it's all the women left, and then they start gossiping about
Lucy,
dead
the dead girl.
They just start like talking shit about her. It's so funny.
They're like, why was she out on a wolf night? And they're like, I don't know. I heard she was in love with Henry, though. She would have done anything for him.
She would have done anything for him.
And also, Henry's grandma is there.
Yeah.
And she's like weird and creepy, and I don't like her. And she like,
And this
like,
is like the one scene that she's in.
she's in some other scenes. It's just like
This is
intense sadness and also anger, and that's it.
Oh yeah, true. And
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But she goes up to Valerie, aka Amanda Seyfried, and like strokes her hair and is like, "Don't worry, Henry's had his eye on you from the beginning. You're the pretty one."
Yeah, she does say it like that too. It's so fucked up. She goes, "You're the pretty one." What the fuck?
And then Valerie just kind of stares at her
Like, what the fuck? Why? Why would you say
with
that?
her massive fucking eyes. They're
Yeah,
so
okay.
big.
Yeah, she does hold her eyes like really wide in this movie. Like, she's a great actor, right? We've
But
seen her
she
in other
really
things.
sucks in this,
But
and
she
I think
really
it's because of the writing sucks.
I think it's because the writing sucked, and I think most of the actors in this movie did a half-ass job,
Yeah.
except for Gary Oldman.
Except for Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman went hard as hell.
Okay, we'll get to him later though. He's a later character.
Mm-hmm. What are we even talking about? Anyways, that goes on and talk about how Lucy was in love with Henry and maybe left the house for that reason. I don't know. They were like, oh, she found out that her sister was betrothed, and then she like sacrificed herself to the wolf because she was so sad.
Because she was so sad.
Anyway, cut to the tavern. All the men are drunk and they go, we hate the wolf. What if we killed it?
Yeah. Okay. They were like, we've kept the troops with the wolf for 20 years. Now we killed somebody, so now we gotta kill it. I don't know why they didn't just kill it before.
Yeah. I mean, and like they do it in a night.
Yeah, and then
You
they
could-
just
you
go and
could've
find
done
it
this
in
before.
one night.
So they go out to Mount Grimor, which is what the mountain is called, where the wolf supposedly lives.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's so much that happens in this movie, and it's so stupid.
And the thing is, the movie's really short too.
Yeah, it's
There's
like
so much that
it's
happens,
100 minutes,
so
and that's
short.
it. It's like, what's going on?
Anyways, continue.
I wish it was a little bit longer, if only so that we could get to know Lucy more and actually be upset when she dies.
Because, and also, it was never really mentioned. Like, I don't know what they did with her body. Because it was just kind of gone after that.
We have like 30 minutes. We have to keep going with this movie. Oh my god.
Just keep describing it.
Okay, so they're like, we're gonna go kill the wolf, and then they're leaving. Peter goes to talk to Valerie at this point, I think. Is that when this happens? I think so.
Yeah.
I think it is.
No. So before this, the mom talks to Peter.
No, Peter comes to talk to Valerie, and the mom intercepts and is like, you can't offer her anything. I know what a woodcutter earns.
Yeah.
This is her only chance at a better life. And he's like, oh, okay.
He's like, oh, fine, I guess.
But yeah, and then he like is all sad and tries to leave, and like he leaves. And then Henry comes by and like gives Valerie a bracelet. It's like, this is for our engagement. I was gonna wait until the wedding, but like in case I die, we're going to kill this
Yeah,
wolf.
because he's going. All the men pretty much are going to kill the wolf because
Yeah.
sexy.
Which he didn't want to, and then everyone was like, "You're a little fucking coward. You're a little pussy baby."
Yeah, literally, they did.
And then it was like, "Okay, I guess I'll go kill the wolf."
Kill a wolf. And then so they're all going to this mountain to kill the wolf, and they get there, and it's like, oh, before they get there though, they pass by the grandmother's house, and the grandmother, Valerie's grandmother, doesn't live in the village. She lives in like this weird house in the forest with around all the spiky trees.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. I don't know why the trees are all spiky. And so they go there, and then this is where we learn that she's the grandmother, because Valerie's father goes up, and then the grandmother's like, you better be careful, don't die. And then he's like, okay, mommy.
Okay, mommy.
And then they leave, and then
to really hammer it home, Valerie shows up out of the forest because she's been following and goes, "Grandmother!"
Yeah, literally.
And then her grandma like lets her into the house and is like, "Hey, I know you're sad, but here's some fucking soup.
And bread.
All sorrows are less with bread."
Yeah, okay.
And then Valerie doesn't eat the bread.
And then, okay, so she's like, the grandmother's like, remember, all sorrows are less with bread. And Valerie like says it with her, because like, I guess it's a thing. And she takes the bread and she doesn't fucking eat it. She just kind of holds
puts it down. And also the grandma's like, Lucy wouldn't have sacrificed herself to the wolf. She wouldn't have done that. She's not like that. So I think that Henry might have like asked her to meet him on a wolf night. She's like, aha, a lead.
Aha, a lead.
A lead.
No.
But they go to the mountain. They're going in there with torches, and they keep getting to Forks and going, we should split up.
Yeah, they do that twice.
It's twice.
So the men in the cave in the mountain, they come across a fork, and they're like, we should split up. And then they come across another fork, and then they're like, we should split up. So the group is supposedly divided into like 3 groups, right?
Like 4 groups.
Like 4 maybe. And then,
who knows?
so...
I would like to believe in my heart that the other group that kept going just kept running in forks and going, we should split up.
Oh my god.
Just like one person at each fork.
That'd be so funny.
And that's why none of them could help, because, they were busy
They were busy.
split up.
So in the cave, they've split up, and it's, so Henry and his father go down one fork.
And then everyone else goes down the other.
And then
like
everyone else goes down the
Peter,
other. Peter and some other guy.
Césaire and the other people.
So this... So here we go. Henry's father dies. It's the werewolf kills him,
yes.
right? But here's the thing. When the werewolf kills him, they come... Like, Henry hides or whatever. And then I think a different group comes across a wolf. And here's the thing. Here's how it was introduced, right? They're like, oh my god, and then they hold up the light, and just for a few seconds, there's like this pasted in video of a transparent wolf growling, and the lighting is completely different from the rest of the scene, and it looks awful.
The first time I saw it, I thought that the wolf was like taxidermied.
But no, they just found like a video of a normal wolf online and pasted it in there.
I want to see if I can like find that stock video, because that would be so funny.
That would be hilarious. And it looks so bad. Anyways, so they killed the wolf.
They killed the wolf. And then they come back and they're all drunk and they're parading the wolf's head around on a stick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we killed the wolf. We did it. No more werewolf, no more terror.
No
Yay.
more werewolf.
And also there's Father Auguste, who's like the priest of
like
the town.
Yeah.
He's like the priest, maybe. And also, he looks like a Muppet. I don't know why. I don't know like what movies he's from, but he looks like a Muppet, and I don't know how to deal with it. Every single time he's on screen, I'm just like, he doesn't look like a person. He looks like a little fucking Muppet. I don't know what to do about it.
We're gonna call him Muppet Man.
We're gonna call him
for the rest
Man.
of this show.
He's the priest guy. Anyways, he's like, I called in Father Solomon, and they're like, what? You didn't need to do that. The wolf's already dead. And he's like, well, I'm calling him in anyway.
And then Father Solomon just rolls into town.
Yeah.
And
Father Solomon is this guy who's like a wolf killer, perhaps, maybe?
He kills witches and werewolves. That's his thing. And he's played by Gary Oldman.
Who is serious in Harry Potter.
He goes really hard into this part for some reason.
Yeah. He shows up in a carriage drawn by 4 black horses.
Yeah.
And there's a white horse in front that's like leading them all. And they show up in the village and he steps out and he's wearing a purple velvet cloak.
He's got like this whole caravan behind him as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because other like soldiers come with him, and also this big metal elephant.
Yes. The Brazen Beast.
The Brazen Beast.
The Brazen Beast.
Anyway, So he steps out, and then he has two daughters that are in the carriage, and they're
Oh
like,
wait, no, we need to talk about his guards, his
Oh,
two
yeah, yeah,
personal guards.
yes, yes,
They're both black men. They're the only black men in the entire movie.
in the whole movie.
And they step out and they go presenting Father Solomon. He's really cool, or something like
But
that.
of course they have an accent
Yeah.
because this movie is racist as hell for some reason.
It's like, huh? And
So-
also, like, every character of color in this movie dies.
So he steps out of the carriage, and his two daughters that are in the carriage, they're like, Papa, no, don't leave. And then he's like, but you see these people, you see all these scared children, they're being terrorized by a werewolf just like we were. And then they're like, is it the same wolf who killed our mother? And then he's like, it might be. And then the carriage that brought him there leaves. And then
It takes the children with them.
it takes the children with them. I don't know why the children came. Really.
It was just for that line.
Yeah.
They knew they had to say that line, so they came with and then they left.
Yeah, and then so the guy, Father Solomon, turns toward the crowd that's gathered, and he's like,
He launches into this whole story.
this whole story.
Of how there was a wolf in his village too. And he got drunk with his buddies one night, and they decided to hunt the wolf.
The hunt the wolf.
He goes, it tore my best friend in half.
Yeah. And then he goes, he like managed to cut off his paw or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, takes it home as a trophy. And he gets home and he sees his wife Penelope with a bloody, bleeding rag around her wrist. And then he opens the sack, and the wolf paw is gone.
Yeah.
And in its place is her hand.
Her hand. And then he's like, and then I killed my wife.
I killed her. I killed my wife.
And then he's like, that's not the werewolf. That's a normal gray wolf, because the werewolf would turn back to its human form when it was killed. That's what he
They
says.
were like, what? Anyways,
And then nobody
you're
believes
wrong.
it. And then nobody believes it. They're all like, no, we killed it. We saw
They go,
it.
damn, that's crazy. Anyways, want to get drunk?
And then they're like, well, we're going to celebrate anyway. Oh, another important plot point. Here, Father Solomon is like, you all know what happens on a blood moon, right? And they're like, no. So he opens up this weird thing that he brought, and it's like a little diagram, and he goes like,
It's not a diagram. It's like a
It's like
model
the-
of
like
the
a-
solar system.
it's like
I
a
think
model.
the Earth is in the center. I don't know.
yeah, I think so.
It's whack.
So he opens up this model of the solar system, and he's like, so when it's the blood moon, the wolf can bite people and turn them into a werewolf. And a wolf and then he's like, if you get bitten by a wolf normally, then you die. But because it's a blood moon, if you get bitten, you get turned into a werewolf. And this is like a huge plot point.
There's
Like,
only a blood moon every 13
yeah,
years.
and it's only for 3 more days, right?
Which that doesn't really make sense because it's a full moon. So
Yeah.
full moons only last for one night.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just the blood moon for the 3 days.
I don't know. This movie's dumb.
It's really weird. Anyway, so everyone's like, okay, we don't care. We're gonna party.
Yeah.
We're gonna celebrate killing the wolf.
Yeah. And also Peter like super rejected Valerie earlier. Forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah.
She like pulled him aside. It's like, we need to leave and go escape. And he's like, no.
He's like, "No,
you
I
have to marry
actually-"
Henry.
Yeah, and then he's like, I actually never liked you.
I never even liked you.
Never
I
even
just
liked
wanted to use you for fun. And she's like, what?
What? I don't believe you.
Anyways, so this big like drunk dance party is happening. Everyone's drinking so much. Cesare passes out drunk. He vomits.
Cesare's the father, by the way.
Yeah, she like kicks him and like makes him go home.
Yeah.
Everyone's
dancing,
absolutely
and then
blasted.
this weird dance scene happens. Okay, so
Or Peter's dancing with another girl.
Peter's dancing with another girl,
and
her
it's
name is-
very weird and sexual. They're like rolling their shoulders at each
yeah,
other.
it's really weird.
It's
And then
shoulder sex.
Valerie gets really jealous, so she grabs her friend Prudence.
Fucking Prudence.
Prudence, and she's like, dance with me. And then they start dancing, but very homoerotically.
Yes.
Like, it's very lesbian baiting, right?
Mm-hmm. Homoerotic dancing.
Homoerotic dancing. And so it's obviously make Peter jealous or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Henry sees and gets jealous.
He's like, how dare you? And then anyways, Peter and
Okay,
Henry start
okay.
like fighting.
So here's the thing. Henry goes up to Peter in the middle of this party and then starts screaming at him. And he's like, if we hadn't split up, then my father wouldn't have died, right?
Yeah.
And so they have this weird fight in the middle of everything, and then it kind of everyone turns and looks at them. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then Peter and Valerie run off.
Yes.
They run
Oh,
off.
yes, they run off and they may or may not do sex. I don't know. It's a surprise.
They didn't.
They didn't. They almost did. They were going
Almost
to.
did.
He was
Okay.
undoing her shirt and putting his hands on her boobs.
But the thing is,
And also, Henry was watching.
they were in a very public space. They went into the granary,
The granary.
which is literally just off
you
the
know all
side
that
of the road.
sauté in the granary?
They went off the side of the road into like this gazebo thing.
Mhm.
That's all it was. Anybody could have walked by and seen them fucking.
There were a bunch of people in the granary as well.
Yeah,
they were
and
just
they
kind
were
of
like,
watching.
"Hey, Peter, we need your help." And then Peter was like, "Okay," and then they stopped fucking.
Yeah,
They stopped almost fucking.
they stopped almost fucking. And then she goes back to the party. Stuff's happening, and then the wolf shows up. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Anyways, he murders like half the town.
Yeah, he does kill a lot of people.
He kills like a lot of people. And also like scratches Valerie's mom across the face.
No.
Oh no!
Okay, so everyone's running and screaming, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
And
everyone.
Gary Oldman goes in the village and goes, "I warned you! I warned you!"
Yeah, he gets really into it. And
It's
so,
actually kind of good.
So Valerie and her friend, which friend is this? I forget. her name.
Roxanne.
Her friend Roxanne, who's played.
Can I have a tangent about Roxanne for a
Go,
second?
go ahead.
Okay. I'm sure the actress is perfectly nice, but I hate the performance in this. It's giving me such middle school play vibes. Oh my god. She says every single line the exact same way and in the exact same melodramatic tone, and it's so much. It's so much, and I hate it so.
Oh my god.
It's the worst. Anyways, that's my
So-
Roxanne tangent. Keep going.
So she runs away with Roxanne, and they get cornered by the wolf. And the wolf doesn't actually look that bad,
Mhm.
like for a CGI
It's
wolf.
not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's like black and it's big and it's like weirdly shaped and whatever.
Mhm.
But
They get
So-
cornered by the wolf.
It-
Also, Roxanne's brother Claude is missing. That's important.
oh yeah, okay. We didn't explain who Claude is.
Claude is this kid who's heavily implied to be autistic.
Yes.
Yes.
So, that's Roxanne's brother. And so Roxanne and Valerie, they get cornered by the wolf, and the wolf starts to speak.
It's like, Valerie, you need to come with me. You and I are the same.
and I.
We should
are
run
the
away
same.
together. And she's like, no, I
could never.
won't.
And then the wolf is like, "You have 3 days, and if you don't come with me, I'm gonna kill everyone in this village, starting with her." And then the wolf turns to Valerie.
Not to Valerie, to
Roxanne. And then Roxanne's like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?"
Oh my god, no.
Okay, big plot point. Roxanne cannot hear the wolf.
Yes.
It's just growling to her, so only Valerie can understand it.
Yeah, and then they're like running away because they get interrupted by a bunch of guards coming by, and Valerie's like, "We promise you won't say anything about me being able to talk to the wolf." And Roxanne's like, "Okay, I promise." And then the guards are like, "Get to the church. The wolf cannot cross onto holy ground." Like, every single character says that exact line at least
Yeah.
once. It's
You gotta
really
really
strange.
understand that the wolf cannot cross into holy ground.
in that exact wording every time. And then
That's
she's
a-
like, "But I still have to find my brother." And they're like, "No, do it in the morning.
I got my mic.
Go to the church."
Misk said, "That's an angry furry."
That's one angry furry. Yeah. So they go to the church. It's the morning. There are a bunch of people who are dying. Still haven't found Claude yet. And also the two blackguards. One of them was like injured during the fighting, and then the other guard is like, "He's still alive. Bring me water." And Valerie goes to get water, and then fucking Gary Oldman shows up and goes, "No, a man bitten is a man cursed."
Oh yeah.
And then the blackguard goes, "But he is my brother."
But he is my brother, and they look nothing alike.
They don't look alike at all.
It's kind
They're
of
just both
ridiculous.
black. That's it.
That's it. And
There's
then
nothing else to
Gary Oldman is like, "Well, I don't care," and then he kind of just stabs the guy.
The way he stabs him is also really funny.
It's really
it kind of just
funny.
looks like he's petting him with the sword.
He goes
It's
like
not
this.
very dramatic.
He goes like this. That's it.
That's it. That's how you kill a man.
And now he's dead.
Yeah. Anyways, they're trying to find Claude, and they find him at the top of this tower, and he's like screaming and rocking and won't come down. And Gary Oldman was like, "Aha! He's a practitioner of the black arts, and also he's speaking with demons. Get him down here. We're gonna torture him until he tells us who the wolf is."
Yeah. So
And
the
this scene
reason
is actually really disturbing.
it is like it's
And
really
it's kinda
disturbing, and it
terrible.
came out of nowhere. What they do is they take this character who's heavily implied to be autistic and having a meltdown, and they take him to the town square, and they're like, "Tell us who the wolf is," and they're like yelling at him, and obviously he's not talking,
Yeah.
right? Because he can't really talk. And they put him in the Brazen Beast, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a medieval torture device, and
Yeah.
it's this
Roman
big,
torture device.
Yeah, Roman. I didn't know that. It's this big metal like animal. Usually it's a bull,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a fire that's lit underneath it, and they put people inside, and it gets really hot in there, and it basically cooks them.
Yeah.
And
the screams like reverberate, and you can hear them.
the screams that they make come out. In this case, it's an elephant, so they come out of the trunk, and it makes the sound. But luckily, the disc that we got skips at this part, so we don't have to see that.
Yeah, it's super scratched there for some reason.
Yeah, which is amazing because I didn't want to see it. I was like, yeah.
But like that's going on, and then Roxanne like goes to the village guards and is like, "Please let me grab the girl. I'll do anything." And then she like starts stripping, and they're like, "We don't want that.
We don't care about your tits."
We don't care about your tits."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, what if I told you the name of a witch?"
And they're like,
"Keep
"No,
talking."
that's valuable.
Anyways, and then they like all go to this place where all the village is, and she's talking, and she's like, "She's always been faster than the other girls. She can climb trees that no one else can climb. She's not like other girls. Hashtag."
Hashtag. You put the hashtag in.
And she was speaking to the wolf.
And she can talk to werewolves.
And then they all go to town. He's like, "Do you deny this?" And she goes, "No."
Yeah, she doesn't deny it. She's asked, "Do you deny this?" And she's like, "No."
No, I don't deny
I'm a
it.
little quirky.
It's fine.
I can
It's
just do
whatever.
that. God, it made me so mad, that part. So here's what they do, right? They put her in jail. They put Valerie in jail, and Peter and Henry are super mad about it. The two love interests.
Yeah, they're gonna use her as bait for the wolf because they know that the wolf wants her.
And then so they're like, "We gotta get Valerie out of here. We gotta help each other, right?" So they come up with a plan, and then they get Valerie's dad to help them too, which is important. So basically, what happens is during the day. Actually, should we describe?
Describe what?
We don't have to describe like the whole plan, right?
No, I don't really care about describing the whole plan. The movie doesn't describe the whole plan. It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Oh, also, something else happens. The grandmother goes to like confront Henry about Lucy. What?
Continue your thing. I have another thing after this.
Oh my god.
That
Okay.
we forgot.
Anyways, and like brings in cookies. He's like, "I'm so sorry about your father. Anyways, did you like orchestrate Lucy's death?" And he's like, "What are you accusing me of?" And she's like, "Nothing. I'm not accusing you of anything." And he goes, "I can smell the wolf on you."
Yeah.
She's like, "What?"
This is a very big thing. The wolf has a weird smell, apparently.
The wolf has a musk.
Yeah, a deep musk. And he smelled it when his father was killed, and he can smell it on the grandmother.
And she's like, "What?"
"Why are you? Don't turn this on me," she says, and then leaves.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that happens. When the wolf is talking to Valerie for the first time, one of its eyes, like, transforms into a brown eye human.
And that's repeated over and over again
And
in the movies.
literally every time Valerie...
Everyone has brown eyes in this movie except for Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, every time she sees somebody with brown eyes, she's like, "Oh my god."
Literally
You're the
every
wolf.
single person has brown eyes in this movie.
It's ridiculous.
It's like,
She
wow,
accuses
great
everybody.
clue.
So, that's an important thing that happens
Yeah.
because it keeps happening
Mhm.
every time she sees brown eyes. So she.
Oh my god, we have 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll finish. So, here's what happens.
Also, Gary Oldman now has 2 silver nails embedded into his fingers for some reason, and they're pointy. And they're about to take her into the square to be used as bait for the wolf.
And they put this mask on
This
her.
black iron mask on
And
her.
it looks like a BDSM puppy mask.
It's weirdly kinky.
It is so,
For some
like, weirdly kinky. And
It's
here's
like,
what happened.
my
we
friends
forgot.
looked at me
Wait.
and judged.
We forgot about something.
What?
The grandmother at the beginning of the movie gives Valerie a red cloak.
That's not important. It's
Yeah.
only there because Red Riding Hood. That's the only
That's the
reason.
only thing. But I want to bring it up because they get her out of the cell, and then Father Solomon is like, "Here's your cloak," and then puts it on her, and then does this weird thing where he takes her hair,
He
and
looks
pulls it out, and then strokes it, and it's so weird. And that's how
she's
you
just
see.
like-
That's how you see he has the 2 silver nails.
Yeah. Anyways, so put her in the square. People that come up to her and go, fucking Muppet Man comes up to her. He's like, "I'm so sorry this happened. I bless you, child."
Muppet Man is
Walks away.
super. Muppet Man is super in love.
He definitely
with
wants to fuck Father Solomon.
Father Solomon. It's like it's really heavy on there.
It's layered on very thickly.
So and then Penelope, not Penelope. It's Prudence.
Prudence comes up and is like, "I'll tell Roxanne that you forget her. Anyways, I think you're a little bitch, and I never liked you."
Yeah, Prudence, the one that was lesbian dancing with her.
It's
It's
like,
I
you've
never
always
liked you.
been strange.
Too pretty.
You've always been too pretty. Everyone's so mad that she's pretty, and it's really, really
It's
funny.
really weird. Anyway, so here's
being,
where
being Amanda Seyfried just makes you hot. I don't know what to
yeah.
tell you.
So everyone knows that the wolf wants Valerie, so that she's big right now, right?
Yeah.
And so Father Solomon and all the guards are like standing around the square, like
Mhm.
hiding, waiting for the wolf, and she's in the square,
They
like
like
tied up.
Peter and Henry do a thing to like cause smoke up everywhere.
Yeah, they
Peter's
light
like
a fire.
Not Peter. Henry's wearing this big black cloak and he uses his blacksmithing tools to like break the locks
Mhm.
and take the mask off, and then they run. Peter's like setting fire to stuff, and then he gets captured and thrown in the brazen beast. But they don't light the fire.
Yeah, but they don't like the fire. They just put him in
He's
there.
just in there and he's like banging on the door and yelling, "Valerie!"
Yeah, but they
Um,
don't hear it for some reason.
yeah.
Even though it would be super loud.
And they're like running away, and then Valerie gets scared and pulls out a knife on Henry. He's like, "Oh my god, are you the wolf?" And he's like, "I'm."
And then Henry's like, "You think I'm the wolf? What the fuck?"
And then she's like, "Yeah, okay."
And then she's like, "Yeah, okay, that makes sense."
And then they keep running away.
And then Henry is shot. They go to try to meet Peter because Peter was supposed to meet them.
Mhm.
And then Peter's not there, and they're like, "Oh my god, where the fuck? Where is
And
he?
they're
He's
like,
missing."
"Wolf, gotta get to holy ground."
And then they're like, "We gotta get to the church, the holy ground." And then Henry
"The
gets
wolf cannot
shot.
cross into holy ground." That
Yeah.
gets said again.
And then Henry gets shot by a silver arrow because they think he's the werewolf.
Yeah, and also
For, like, a
because Father
second.
Solomon just doesn't like him.
Yeah. Well, because he took. So when he was taking Valerie, they were like, "Oh my god, he took the bait. Get
Yeah.
the werewolf."
Anyways, they show up at the door of the church, and then Father Solomon stops them and goes, "You are not on holy ground yet." And then he yanks the arrow from Henry's
Yeah.
shoulder and goes, "That's mine.
That's mine.
That belongs to me."
And then the wolf shows up. The wolf shows up here.
Yeah, they like pull Henry onto the holy ground, and also Valerie goes onto the holy ground, and the wolf is
And the
just
wolf
like,
can't go in
"Ahaha,
there.
I'm gonna kill everyone here if you don't go with me."
And then Valerie's like, "Okay, I guess I'll come with you."
And also important, the wolf burns its paw on the holy ground.
Not yet.
That is an important plot.
It is an important plot point. But so Valerie's like, "Okay, I'll go with you." But then all of her friends are like, "No, we can't let you do that. You can't go."
None of them like her.
None of them like her. Literally, Prudence was like, "No, you can't take her." Prudence hates her, right? Like she literally
I
said
don't know.
it.
I think Prudence has some compet issues.
Yeah. Anyway, and the wolf gets really mad and tries to step into the holy ground, but he burns his paw because he can't set foot on holy ground.
Yeah.
It's like a whole
And
thing.
then he like runs away because the sun is rising. Anyways, more stuff happens. Blah 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 blah.
And okay, so what happens after that?
Valerie passes out because she hit her head.
Oh no,
and,
this
like,
is so important. We forgot.
what?
Lord Solomon tries to attack the werewolf. Why
Yes.
do-
Oh
why
my
do-
God, we forgot about this.
why
This is
does-
so important.
I keep calling him Lord Solomon, so Father Solomon.
Oh my God.
So he tries to attack the werewolf, and then the werewolf cuts off his hand. The hand that
Bites
has
off his hand. He bites it off.
he bites it off. That has the
silver nails.
the silver nails on it, and then the wolf runs away.
It's these two, so he can like finger the wolf.
Yeah, so he was going to finger the wolf. That was like heavily implied.
Anyways,
actually.
this is a furry movie.
No. So he bites off the hand and then runs away. And then the black guard that's left goes up to him and he's like, "A man bitten is a man cursed."
And then Father Solomon goes, "You would orphan my children." And then he goes, "My brother had children too."
Yeah.
And then stabs him.
And then
it is
stabs
the
him.
best scene in the movie.
It's like the only good scene in the movie.
I recommend watching just that scene. Like, find it on YouTube, watch it. It's amazing. It's
Mhm.
perfect.
It was so satisfying.
It's like amazing. He's dead.
Finally. He was very rude.
Yes, I hated him so much.
So that happens. And then, so Valerie,
She
Wakes
has a weird
up.
dream about her grandmother where she
Yeah.
goes like,
that's not
"Hey
what
guys,
it's
you have
about.
what big teeth you have, what big ears you have."
Yeah,
it's
it's just-
kind of dumb. It's
it's
over
really
there for
stupid.
the story. Then she's like, "I'm going to grandmother's house.
She's
I
in
think
trouble.
she's in danger." She's in her red cloak again. She goes to her grandmother's house, and then her grandmother's there, and she's fine. She goes, "Hello, dearie. Come in."
If you're
I just
hungry, I
woke
need
up.
soup.
And then
She goes, "I just woke up, but if you're hungry, I just made soup."
and then she starts and goes like, "All stars are blessed with bread." And she eats some of the soup and goes, "What is this? What is this?
What
soup?"
is this?
Which,
soup?
by the way, the soup looks really, really
The
gross.
soup looks
It
really bad,
like,
and I don't know why she ate it.
It looks like dirt.
It looks like mud.
It looks like mud and dirt.
Well, icky.
Thank you, Pluto.
Thank you, Pluto.
Oh my God, we have
So-
8 minutes.
So she eats the soup, and then she's like, "What's in this soup?" And then the grandmother was behind a curtain this whole time, and then she stands up and then takes off the wig, and then takes off like the shawl thing, and then walks out of the curtain, and it's Valerie's father.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, she saw Peter in the woods before and stabbed him.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh my god, he's
That's
the wolf.
important. She thought Peter was the wolf as well, and then stabbed him and ran away.
So he's in the forest.
So Peter's just in the forest right now.
He does have a knife wound, but like that's not important.
That's fine. So and then she's like, "Oh my god, it's you!"
And then there's like he like explains everything to her and is like, "I wanted to be."
Wait. It's heavily implied that the soup is the grandmother.
Yes, it is. She just ate her grandmother.
Yeah, she like just she ate a spoonful of the soup, which probably was her grandmother.
Yes.
The ultimate Sonic fan 2022 said, "Why does the movie suck?"
Have you not been listening?
We'll get to that. We'll explain why it sucks once we're finished.
Oh my god, we have 7 minutes. Anyways, so Sarah's like, and I was gonna turn Lucy into a werewolf first, and then I could try to talk to her. She realized she couldn't understand me, and I was like, oh my god, she's not my daughter, so I murdered her because I was mad. She was actually an affair. Henry's father was her father, so she was the half sister of Henry, who was the guy she was in love with. Yeah. Which was why really that Valerie got betrothed to Henry.
Yeah, it's kind of convoluted.
Yeah.
And
anyways,
kind of
she's dead now, and that's also the reason why Adrian, Henry's father, died, and that's why Valerie got scratched, because he was like taking revenge on her. And anyway, he's like, we could be so strong together, run away to the city.
Yeah,
and she's
okay,
like, no, I'll never be a murderer.
There's a thing. So for a really, really strong werewolves get stronger if their bloodline is not interrupted.
This isn't that important. We have 5 minutes.
Well, I want to explain it. Werewolves get stronger if their bloodline isn't interrupted. So he wants to turn Valerie into a werewolf so their bloodline doesn't get interrupted, and she'll be stronger than him, right? And he feels like he's like, you'll be so strong, and then she's like, no. And then Peter comes in, the guy that she stabbed in the woods, and he's like, you get away from her right now.
Yeah. And it's like, you're not as strong in the daytime, and then he just is. And also, oh my god, we forgot to mention, Valerie's dad is also the guy who played Charlie in Twilight.
Oh yeah.
Bella's dad.
That is important.
Just without the mustache, so that's how you know he's
evil. He also has long hair. And so he and Peter fight, and then Valerie's like, wait, Papa, I brought something for you.
She has her little basket.
And she has her little basket, and she opens her basket, and in there is the hand.
But no, he walks towards her, and he gets an axe in the back, and then she opens the basket, and it's the hand from before, and she stabs him with the 2 silver nails.
Yeah, and then he dies. And then Peter's like, oh, he bit me.
Oh no, he bit
Which
me! Which
did not happen. Like, it never happened in the fight scene. And so he reveals the bite, and Valerie's like, oh my god, no, you that's so sad.
Anyways, they dispose of the body. And they're like, we can never tell anyone in the village because they'll hang you for being the daughter of the wolf.
Yeah, and then Peter's like swimming away on the boat. Like,
swimming away on the boat. He's on the boat, but he's swimming.
Yeah. And then she's like, where are you going? And then he's like, I'll be back. I just need to learn how to protect you from. He doesn't say it,
but it's very implied.
It's very
implied.
From myself.
God.
And then there's
this like montage of like their times together, which we didn't see any of these. They're like having sex outside.
Yeah.
In the snow
really
on top
weird.
of her red cloak. It's very weird.
Anyway. So then
there's
it's
the
like
drone shot of them walking in
that weird drone
a snowy mountain, and the red cloak is there, but it's like 30 feet long, and it's whipping in the wind.
We got 4 minutes.
Oh my god.
So.
And then she's like, I'll wait for you.
Shut up.
Shut up.
She's like, I'll wait for you. And then.
That's what I said.
So there's a time skip. There's a time skip, and then Valerie has a little montage, and she's like, and then.
She has a kalimba.
She has a kalimba, and she's like, I live in my grandmother's house now, and Henry is a guard. And blah, 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 and I'm still waiting for Peter. And then there's a scene where Peter is outside the grandmother's house, but he's a wolf, and he looks exactly like the father as a wolf, which is, I think they just don't want to remake the model. And then Valerie, like, smirks, and, like, Kubrick stares.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna fuck the wolf.
And then it cuts, and that's the end.
Yeah, okay. Now we can get into why this makes
Here
sense.
is why it's shit.
We
already talked about the set. We already talked about the sets, right?
The sets were awful.
The sets were awful. They were very obviously fake, and it didn't feel. They were all supposed to be outside, right? Yeah. In the winter.
Yeah.
It did not.
Nobody's wearing winter clothing.
Yeah, and you can't see any breath or anything. The snow is sand.
Yeah.
That they just have on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you can clearly see. It's all closed in. Everything looks fake. The lighting is bad. There's that. The plot is very cliche.
Yeah.
And
also the writing was really bad. Everyone talked like everyone else.
Yeah.
They all talked like the exact same person.
And the love interest thing, like the love triangle, didn't make any sense. It had no place in the movie, and it could have been so much better without it. But it was riding on the tail end of the Twilight,
Yeah.
and it was also directed by the director of Twilight,
Yeah.
who probably used a lot of the same.
My thing was
things.
there were some strong scenes in this movie, like the scenes with Gary Oldman and the two guards
Yeah.
were amazing.
I
And I
wish-
would have loved if the movie focused more on
Yeah.
them and like the actual plot line with the wolf instead of with Valerie
And
and trying to
Valerie-
force this to be a Red Riding Hood story.
Valerie's not a good main character because she
Yeah,
didn't
she
do
sucks.
anything.
She
She didn't do
did
anything for the
nothing.
whole movie.
She just was suspicious of everyone the entire movie.
Yeah,
There's a
that's-
segment in the movie where she thinks every single person she talks to is the werewolf.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And her only evidence for this is that they say some variation of, what if we left the village and also have brown eyes?
And they also have brown eyes. That's it.
That's the
She
whole
thinks
thing.
everybody is a wolf at some point. And the movie itself is very boring.
Yeah.
It
It's
not-
fun to hate watch.
It's really fun if you want to watch a bad movie, but if you're looking for a movie to actually you want to watch, then I
Mhm.
wouldn't. Like the conflict that happened, they're not interesting. They're very cliche. Like the characters don't.
Oh, we forgot to mention that Claude died.
Oh yeah, Claude died. Claude is dead.
Yeah, but that was terrible. Anyways.
Yeah, that was awful.
I hate
None
how
of the
that was
characters get any. What's it called?
Like an arc.
Yeah.
None of them really change.
None of them change. They all stay the same by the end, and like Valerie's the exact same. Peter's the exact same. You know, the only thing that happens is some people die.
Everyone says that Henry is a coward, but like he isn't. He's
He's just some guy.
just some guy.
He really is just some guy. It doesn't have. Okay, all the actors did a really half-assed job besides Gary Oldman, which we already mentioned.
Yes.
Like, they really. I don't know why some people were in this because it's not like they were strapped for
Amanda
casting.
Seyfried's biggest acting choice is just not blinking.
Yeah,
She just
And-
is staring the entire time.
she's really just a vessel for you to insert yourself into. That's why she's so blank, I think.
Yeah.
This is really a movie for like teen girls.
More like tween girls.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
This is for 11-year-olds.
this
Even though
movie
it's
is for
PG-13
11
and has sex scenes.
It has almost sex scenes.
It has almost sex scenes.
And
And an actual sex scene.
no,
It's
doesn't
in a
have- no, it doesn't.
montage.
No, it's not. They're still closed.
No,
Yeah, they are.
they
No,
are
they
not
re-
wearing
no,
clothes.
they really are.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
fight you about it.
We
They
can
were
watch the
not
movie
wearing
back.
clothes.
We can watch the movie back, and I'll show you.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fight you about
Anyway.
it. We have 30 seconds.
So it's okay if we go a little bit over. Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna like yell at us. And I think this movie could have been made better if they didn't focus on Valerie and
Yes.
the love triangle so much.
I think this movie could have been better if it wasn't about Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, if it was just like a werewolf, like who's the you know that game Werewolf? If
Yeah.
it was just that, and I think it would have been really cool if it focused on Father Solomon more.
Yeah.
Because he was actually a good character,
Yeah. And I hated him so much, but he was an interesting character.
and it's a good thing that we hated him though, because he was supposed to,
Yeah, 'cause he's the villain.
because he was the villain.
Like in the beginning, you're like, okay, I kind of get what he's doing and what he's going with, and like his wife is dead because she was the werewolf.
Yeah.
But then by the end, he's like, I hate him so much, and I wanted to stab him myself, but I'm glad that guy got to.
Anyways, that is today's episode,
I think
We
this
gotta
movie
go
just
now.
really suffered from them trying to force it to be a Red Riding Hood remake.
and also Twilight.
Yeah.
It suffered because Red Riding Hood and Twilight, they tried to mash them,
Yeah.
and they were like, let's do this.
It's like, what if this was a horror movie, but also what if it was a romance movie appealed to tween girls?
Mhm.
And then we got this garbage.
And then we got this garbage.
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
But if you're like tipsy, it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's very fun to watch with other people and laugh at together. So yeah, if you can get it on like a streaming service for free, why not?
I don't think we're live on this anymore, but I do want to say we haven't mentioned the ticks yet. When we first watched this movie, I was in the middle of like the height of my conversion disorder when and I have conversion disorder. My anxiety gets converted
You
into
gotta wrap
ticks. And so at that point in time, I was having really bad ticks all of the time.
This is when we first watched it.
Yeah, when we first watched it. And so I had a lot of very weird and funny ticks in relation to this movie. Would you like to help me remember them? Because I only remember one.
I only remember Good Girl.
Yeah. I kept looking at the screen going, "Good girl," just over and over.
It was very funny. That's the only one I remember because it was hilarious.
I know there were others.
Anyway, that's the end.
Anyways, don't
Yeah.
watch this movie, but also do because it's really fun.
Do it if you want to.
Mhm.
Just don't buy it. It's not worth money. Maybe just don't buy it.
Buy it secondhand.
Buy it secondhand. I think we
Like
got this
we
for
did.
like $1.
Yeah.
So come back next week. What movie are we doing next week?
What if we did Splice?
We could do Splice next week.
We're gonna watch. We're gonna talk about Splice next week.
Yes, we have a very good movie.
I think we
next
need to
week.
manage our time better next week.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna have to plan it better.
Mm.
I think we spent too much time on the first part. We
Mhm.
spent like 15 minutes on it.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you. Thank you for
Goodbye.
You're gonna have to click
I have to
extra.
end it. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's,
Fight.
do you see
Fight.
it?
Yes, good job, besties. Thank you, Emily. How do I end it?
It's there's